Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Welcome,
Oh,
everyone.
wait,
Oh, oh,
getting ready to broadcast.
buffering,
Your
buffering,
YouTube
buffering,
star.
buffering, buffering.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, everyone.
Getting ready to broadcast.
Buffering,
Your
buffering,
YouTube
buffering.
star. Yeah, it says we're live. Okay.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to the December 15th meeting of the Scarborough Economic Development Corporation. We're going to start today with brief roundtable discussion. Anyone can bring up anything that they would like. We do, I don't really think we need to set a time limit on it, but
Yeah, I think we're good. We're certainly good right now.
yeah, I will just start very briefly with sort of an update on lending. I can say that we have definitely, with interest rates continuing to rise, seen a pretty sharp drop in, what I'm told, sharp drop in residential borrowing, but that has not yet really shown in commercial borrowing yet, especially for us. We are still getting calls for refinances. We're still getting calls for purchases, especially construction. So in terms of the interest rates slowing down lending, we haven't really seen it yet, but you know, they're going to keep going up. I think they're expecting what, I think another 50 bips this month. And I think they thought that might be it initially, but then, yeah. And then,
0.5%.
yeah, but then, what next, no one seems to know. I think they sort of had built that in, that was already kind of expected.
Yeah,
And then
that was
going
good.
forward, I think people are still scratching their heads about what's next, so. And then, also in terms of Atlantic, maybe Karen can, I don't want, but there is still, I would say a light, hopefully a strong possibility that Atlantic is still planning to open up a branch in Scarborough. There's been some, some issues that people been trying to work out, but, I think there was a positive meeting yesterday,
Yes.
on Tuesday. Hopefully that, can, get the process to where it needs to be. So that's really all I have.
Where are they gonna go?
Right next to on Ginn Road and Ginn and Payne Road, right next to the gas station over near the turnpike, over near Cabela's.
John Phillips on the banking world. I'll do my best on the retail side, especially with specifically to us for the alcohol side of things. If it's hitting us, I assume it's going to hit a lot of other retails. Talking to the distributors and a lot of breweries we deal with, it's slow. It's a lot slower than it had been. I think that, like I think everybody here, we're watching what we're spending just because of the economic climate out there. And usually it doesn't creep too much into the adult beverage world, but it's hitting it right now. Bonuses that we have the holiday season to get us through right now, but a lot of it, and it's small, it's big. They're worried about what January, February is gonna bring on and kind of hold on tight, batten down the hatches and get through it until the summertime, where I think it'll all come back this summer.
Is
But it's
that
just a few months.
consumers and wholesale?
It's consumers, it's wholesalers, it's breweries, it's across the board right now. It's like I said, it's one of those industries that you think will always do well, but it's creeping in there. I think that's an indication of the larger economics that we're in right now.
How much of your business is commercial, like commercial from a business standpoint?
No, right now,
Would be-
none of we're all like direct to consumer. On the commercial end, it's just all the bigger distributors that we talking to on a daily basis.
Okay.
And it's like I said, it's not just the small independents, it's the they're big regional chains as well that are seeing an effect right now. So
How's your new neighbor? Since they just opened up Thursday last week?
the parking lot's been very full over at CDOG. I haven't had a chance to get over there yet, which is a good sign. And from all I heard, it's beautiful in there. They did a great job. And I think Tom was just saying he was in there. And
Right.
yeah, I think we got a good place and started from scratch. So, and we'll be getting a new neighbor soon. Crisp is moving
Oh,
in,
right.
where the pet store used to have that big space they cut down. So they're taking that at the end of the building, which we're excited about because obviously there's gonna be a lot more foot traffic coming through the area. I think it's an indication of that side of town, the growth, everything that's going on over there. I think we're gonna start seeing some more of these types of things coming out that side. So
What kind of stores, Chris?
they're it's fitness, yoga.
We all know when
boot
people work out,
camps.
they want to drink after.
Exactly.
Exactly after you need to get your
You gotta hydrate.
hydrate
Right.
right after.
And parking should be much better for them.
Parking, that's
You should have a little display in their
Like people
store.
could do it
before, yeah, you need, yeah.
Oh, that's.
You should have a little display in their store.
Yeah,
In the lobby.
we're definitely, even on like the non-alcoholic, the more,
Yeah.
the more fitness friendly
Yeah,
beverages that we're
Mhm.
seeing come out, it's a big trend right
Yeah.
now, so we're definitely,
interesting.
we'll be able to get a good working relationship with them on that end, so that should be good.
But they used to do like hot yoga. Will they be able to actually do that?
They're gonna have a much bigger space right now, and they're gonna be able to build it out how they want it. So yeah, they're actually anticipating being able to offer more services over there. So
Awesome. Thank you.
That crisp move was one of those that when you saw it announced, you said, well, that makes sense because their parking situation on Payne Road was like unreal. They're just so cramped. And it looked like they were doing a pretty good business on Payne Road. So I had the luxury of doing a 1.5 hour economic forecast for the construction industry webinar yesterday. And what really came of it is that moving into 23, that things don't, there's so much construction that's being planned that it probably isn't going to affect things for 23, but the concern is about what happens in 24. And it's funny because I've kind of noticed that we seem to be in a little bit of a lull right now in terms of what I do, which is bringing in proposals and working on them and interviewing and trying to get them. And it corresponds with what I saw in yesterday's economic forecast that design billings are down for the last 2 months. So it's kind of reflective of what I have been seeing on the street. And I've had people say to me anecdotally, well, we've got capacity to do some design right now. My people are putting their heads up now, wondering where's the next job. But conversely, this thing of the manufacturing coming back to the United States is huge. And we haven't really seen the ripple effect of it yet, or the real ramifications of it, because it's the chip production that's going down to Phoenix, and then a big project in Ohio. But locally, and I say this regionally, but Sappi putting in 500 million into the Hinckley plant up in Skowhegan, and then yesterday's announcement, or from Tuesday night, that New Balance is going to build a 120,000 square foot plant in Skowhegan. That's real. Louisiana Pacific up in Holton is doing a major expansion, and there's others in the area. So I've really been the forecast said manufacturing is supposed to be very robust in 23. The public sector, with all that ARPA money out there, is fairly good. He specifically spoke to that infrastructure there's probably 5 years worth of work in infrastructure that'll keep projects going. So we're keeping our eye on it. We've got a lot of backlog and pricing does seem to be coming down a bit because people are more concerned. In that webinar, the number one concern of all the construction companies that were on that webinar is labor.
Still.
Labor shortages. And it was like by far the biggest factor that people were concerned about. And then just
Is there
locally.
Any trade, I mean, any specific trades that we're targeting or just labor in
Just
general?
labor, work shortages, it far exceeded supply chain at this point. Though that was the second, and then but lower on the list were ability to finance, being able to do a project. I forget what the other one was, but those two were by far the most important. And locally, because we all go there, I understand, I saw recently that the Starbucks at Martin's got approved by the planning board. And so I've got a friend of mine who's on the design team, and he said that the first round of pricing came in, and it looks as though it's within budget for the
Wow.
owner, and
Is it going in the store?
it's going to be a pad site at Martin's, almost like right up next to the entrance of Payne Road,
Yeah,
where you go into the
Oh,
Scarborough
okay.
Gallery.
Yeah, yeah.
and there'd be some
uh,
extra retail with it, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
extra space.
only one building. I think the total project is like 3 buildings, I believe, but just the one building that would have a Starbucks. They priced it, and the line might not go by out into Route 1 there on the current location. So I just thought that was kind of good news for things that we really that affect us on a daily basis. So
Yeah, their biggest challenge will come as no surprise. Traffic generation for Starbucks in particular is incredible.
Yeah.
The sort of
It's like
offsite
Chick-fil-A.
improvements they'll have to do.
Yes.
Was a sticking point, but they worked it through. Yeah. So I guess picking up the same theme as we start preparing for the budget season, which is a